indeed. Well, I'm wondering if you've seen on social media, as I have, extraordinary video taken in the Bodytech Fitness Gym in Moreton-on-the-Wirral in Liverpool, when police officers, armed police officers no less, on Wednesday morning turned up at the gym after a report from the public that it was contravening new legislation, of course, Liverpool in Tier 3, that they were not allowed to be open. And police officers turned up, said, you're going to have to close. Well, they came back later and they were still not closed, and they were issued with a fixed penalty notice of £1,000. Well, the gym owner, Nick Whitcombe, said, no, he's still not going to close. As far as he's concerned, there is no risk from gyms. There's no evidence that gyms are where COVID infections are being spread. And for the benefit of his members, he was going to stay open. Well, Nick Whitcombe, I'm delighted to say, joins us now. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
You've had extraordinary support online, and indeed extraordinary support financially from people online after you opened a crowdfunder. I think you're up to, is it £40,000 plus that people have donated, as well as signing a petition calling for the government to keep gyms open?
Yes, I believe we're at 320,000 signatures on the petition. It's only been up 72 hours. The fundraiser is close to 45,000 so far.
That's an incredible amount of support, isn't it? And I noticed actually on the crowdfunder, we're looking at people, putting in a fiver and a tenner. So it's an awful lot of people. When you heard that Liverpool was going into Tier 3 after this announcement from Boris Johnson on Monday, there were going to be these tiers, did you decide immediately that you were not going to close? And on what basis do you think that you know better than the scientists on Sage and others who apparently think that gyms are a risk to the public?
So the decision not to close, that came a few days before the actual Tier 3 was pushed onto Liverpool. That was an agreement between myself and the other 65% of the gym owners across Merseyside who still stand open today. When we heard our mayor, Joe Anderson, come forward and say that the financial package that had been offered was entirely inadequate and it would take our city back to levels of unemployment that we've not seen since the 1980s. I didn't live through the 80s, but I've got family that did, and some of the horror stories that I hear, it's not something that I want my generation to have to endure, not just from a financial perspective, but more from a mental health perspective. We're already at double last year's depression rates across the country, and, it's only going to get worse, and I feel Liverpool are about to bear the brunt of it, and Manchester are obviously not far behind us.
Well, indeed, as you say, 65% of gym owners across Merseyside, lots of small gyms like yourself, some really big gyms saying, that's it, we're not going to close. Are they also getting fines? Are they also getting visits from armed police officers?
Yeah, so there's been 5 of us fined in the last 48 hours, as far as I'm aware. With regards to armed police, I'm not sure, to be honest. I couldn't comment.
What did you make of it? You're a business owner. You run a business. You employ people. You're providing a service to the members who pay to be a member of your gym. I'm assuming you are day to day a law-abiding citizen of this country. When armed police officers turned up at your gym to tell you had to close, what was your reaction?
I'll be honest, my reaction was based on how they treated us. And in all fairness to Merseyside Police, they treated us fairly. They expressed that they didn't agree with the Tier 3 restrictions that have been imposed on Liverpool. They know the science doesn't support the closure of gyms. That near enough every officer in attendance is a gym user themselves. They don't agree with the decision, but in their own words, and I have all of this on camera, this had come from their boss's boss's boss. This was not something that they wanted to be doing.
Yeah, indeed. And what do you